Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 54, chapter entitled The Marriage of Krishna and Rukmani, text number 48. Yatha Shayana Atmanam Vishayan Phalamevacha Anubhamte Apiyasati Arthe Tathapnoti Abudho Bhavam Yatha Shayana Atmanam Vishayan Phalamevacha Anubhamte Apiyasati Arthe Tathapnoti Abudho Bhavam Yatha Shayana Atmanam Vishayan Phalamevacha Anubhamte Piyasati Arthe Tathapnoti Abudho Bhavam. Word to word meaning. Yatha, as Shayana, a sleeping person, Atmanam, himself, Vishayan, sense objects, Phalam, the fruits, Eva, indeed, Cha, also, Anubhungte, experiences, Api, even, asati arthe, in that which is not real, tatha, so, apnoti, undergoes, abudha, the unintelligent, bhavam, material existence. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: as a sleeping person perceives himself, the objects of sense enjoyment and the fruits of his acts within the illusion of a dream, so one who is unintelligent undergoes material existence. Purport: as stated in Shruti, asango hi ayam purushaha, the living being has no intimate connection with the material world. This point is explained in the present verse. A similar statement is found in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 22nd chapter, text 56. Artehi avidyamanepi samsritirna nivartate dhyayato vishayanasya swapne anarthagma agamo yatha. For one who is meditating on sense gratification, material life, although lacking factual existence, does not go away, just as the unpleasant experiences of a dream do not. Chant press. Chant press. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Ladita Shri Vishakhanvatam Sam Namahum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatale Shatarane Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratashe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Takta Kamchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhamu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balbhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangham langhayate girim yat kripatamham vande Shri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram. Hare Krishna. So I humbly seek blessings of all the assembled devotees here, especially His Grace Acharya Ratna Prabhu and all the devotees, so that we may be able to speak in this beautiful section of Srimad Bhagavatam for purification of our heart, for the glorification of the Lord, and service to all devotees, and for benefit of everyone. So here, in this beautiful section, we are seeing how Krishna has kidnapped Mother Rukmini, and after that Rukmini follows, and Rukmini is nicely punished by Krishna for his improper behavior. And Balaramji, who comes following behind, Balaramji has seeing the scene. Balaramji is giving wonderful instructions to Rukmini ji, while he is also pacifying Rukmini ji by chastising sometimes Krishna and sometimes looking towards Rukmini. So we are seeing a beautiful episode. So this instruction which we are reading, these few verses, last few days, today and tomorrow is the last verse which Balaramji is speaking. So this is very significant because Balaramji is Adi Guru, the original spiritual master, Guru Tattva. And these wonderful instructions which he is giving to Rukmini are special. And through Rukmini, Balaramji is teaching to all of us for all time to come this very crucial point of our real existence and our illusory existence. It's a very interesting this verse and this analogy which is being taught today. That how a conditioned soul, because of misidentification with the body, he undergoes such a great struggle. And this is in one sense very, very ridiculous also, because one is what not, he imagines that and he undergoes. Simultaneously also very pitiable situation, and simultaneously it is also the situation of practically everyone, and it is a story of all of us. So let us try to analyze and understand this verse and see how we can learn something deeper, and we'll also try to read Srila Prabhupada's purports to some other verses also, to try to understand this analogy of dream and see how it is very nicely applicable in our life, and very practical lessons and applications we can do. So dreaming is a very interesting phenomenon, right? It's very interesting. I'll just, before we discuss more deeply, I'll just read the commentary of Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur on this particular verse. So he gives an example of a person in dream. So I'll just read his words. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is saying, though objects themselves are real, while sleeping, a person may experience objects such as countries to be conquered with vast armies. Okay, so he is thinking of, in the dream he is thinking, okay, I have to conquer this country, I have to conquer that country, I have to do this, and that is one thing. As the verse says, three things a dreamer is saying. Atmanam, Vishyan and Phalam. Okay, Atmanam means himself. He is himself misidentifying with something else in the dream. He is thinking, in the dream he is seeing, okay, this is the thing. And Vishyan, sense object. So sense object, Vishnu Thakur is mentioning here is that countries to be conquered. And Phalam, the results. Further he says, results such as victory and enjoyment of the results such as sandalwood and woman. And sometimes he experiences in the dream, sub dream mein chal raha hai. Experiences defeat, bondage, beating and abuse. In this way, the unintelligent person experiences in an unreal way the world of happiness and distress due to association with the body. So just like a person who considers himself, as a person in the dream, and he sees certain vision and certain results in the dream, and as accordingly he is suffering or enjoying. But this is just a dream, it is not real. And in a similar way, we also are not belonging to this material world. This body is not who we are. We have our real existence in the spiritual world. We have our own real identity and our real relationship with Krishna. And forgetting all that, we are absorbed in this world. Okay, right? And so hence, all the experiences in this world is because of misidentification. Just like all the experiences of the living entity in the dream, is because of misidentification, thinking that is misidentification with the person in the dream. Okay, and thinking that this is what I am. Another modern life example, if we take of a dream, or of this analogy, which sometimes may be more appealing, is the example of virtual reality. Okay, right? VR, very, and the technology becoming quite famous now. So in virtual reality, you practically have a device, which you put in front of your eyes. It's like a goggles type of thing. Put there, and you may put your phone also. Nowadays, an iPhone, the whole systems have been coming, and then one can completely, and even not only that, even there are places where you can even have your hands and your feet and everything engaged, in such a way that now you live in another world. It's like a gaming. Many places there is gaming where you can actually sit on a bike. You can have a full experience of a bike, but actually nothing is happening. But you can experience as if you are there in the street and all the traffic is coming. So in that way, so virtual reality, right? So just like a person who has put himself in that situation, right, and he is absorbed in a certain video game. Let's take example. So that at that point of time, because he is absorbed there, he considered that to be real. And whatever is happening in that video game, right? Some enemies are coming, attacking. He feels this is the reality, and he undergoes real emotions based on his absorption, or I would say obsession, for the video game. And sometimes that obsession of the game may be so high that one forgets his real life, and he starts considering, people in real life as a botheration, right? We can find many children or even young people, when they play games, they become so absorbed, they find someone else coming and trying to disturb them and bringing him out of illusion, they consider them to be disturbance. Why you are disturbing me? I am very busy in something which is not real. It's just obsession. So much so that once I heard that in America, I hope such things are not happening in India, but I heard in America that one of the child who was so obsessed with playing video game, that his mother was frustrated with him, and mother was doing her best to let not child play the video game, right? Was not letting him play, and then this child, when he saw that mother is not letting me play, he was so obsessed, and so much absorbed in playing the game that he shot his mother dead. He considered that she is becoming obstacle in my obsession to illusion. So one becomes so obsessed that the real things start looking botheration. So in a similar way, we are, in this material world, becoming so obsessed with this material identification of the body, of the things around us, of the so-called occupation, self-created responsibilities, occupation in this world and everything. So much we are obsessed sometimes, and for most of the people all the times, right, in this world. That when, the Lord or His representatives come and they knock and they shake us and wake us up, we consider them to be great moderation because of our obsession to the illusory misidentification. And this is true for for everyone at different level. If you talk of gross materialist roaming in the street, we find many times people go and like this is marathon month going on, devotees go and try to tell them, please take the books, please read Bhagavad Gita. They consider this to be botheration. Consider why you are, not everyone. Some people are very happy, right? But yes, many people consider it to be botheration. Why you are disturbing me? And they clearly feel that if I take these things, in my life, it can disturb my absorption or obsession with the current illusory life which I am living. So waking up to reality looks botheration. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagwan Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Just like a person who is sleeping and he is dreaming, I don't know if anyone has experienced that. Sometimes you are dreaming something very nice, then alarm rings. You may want to switch off the alarm and say that, let me continue sleeping because it was a nice dream. But it is after all a dream. It is not real. Right? So hence we consider alarm to be botheration in our absorption in the dream. So this is our condition. And that's why in another place it is explained that's why we need to hear the real message. Shravanam is what can awaken us. I was just thinking, because we are talking of dream. Suppose we are in a dream state, okay, and in the dream suddenly you come to realize that actually this is real, this is not real, this is a dream. Right? Suppose we are dreaming and we realize in the dream, we are still in the dream, but we realize this is a dream. Actually I am sleeping right now. I am nowhere roaming around. I may be in the dream, I may be wherever, XYZ, but I have now understood that this is actually a dream going on. You can think, as soon as I understood that this is a dream going on, what I will do now? It may not be possible for you to wake up. Assume that you cannot wake up, but you have to continue with the dream. You just can't immediately wake up. So now what will you do in the dream? If you think deeply, at least one thing is very clear. If this is understood, if this is really understood, so this is called as jnana, from this analogy when we come back, it is called sambandha jnana. So as soon as this sambandha jnana is found, that is okay. Actually, I'm not this person, and this whole thing, whole setting around me is all a dream, right? This is not true, or this is actually true. The scriptures explain and the Vaishnava philosophy explain that it's not that it is untrue. Okay, this is one more point. I'll just first explain this, then come back. Just like in the dream also, the things which we see, it is not that it is not real. That is real because it's a creation of mind. So mind's creation is also a certain kind of reality. As much as this creation of this gross elements is reality, that much reality is the creation of mind. Okay, so sab reality hai, all that is reality. What is the issue? This matter is also reality, and the dream also what we see is also reality. The issue, the illusion is to misidentify. If I think that this material world or this matter is what I am, that is illusion. Matter is there. Similarly, in the dream, mind is actually imagining hundreds of things, and those imaginations are creations of mind. Okay, That is also real to that much extent, that creations of mind. But to think that this is what I am, this is all in all my world, to misidentify, that is illusion. So in that way, reality may be there, but as soon as now you understood, okay, this is a dream world, I am not in real world, I am in a dream world. Now what I will do, right? What I will do in the dream. We are coming back to that, our original question. Now we are in a dream, what we will do? So what we will do is, a logical answer is that I will do what aligns to the reality. Right? Now I understand that the dream is this. Now why I should do anything which doesn't help me in my real world? Why I should do that? Suppose in the dream we are busy earning money. Many materialistic people may be doing business and they may be busy earning money or busy collecting some things. But as soon as you realize this is a dream, how much ever money I earn in the dream, that's not going to give me any benefit in real life. So then one should immediately give up that effort of earning money. Or let's say I'm eating gulab jamuns in the dream. Right? But one realizes that that's not going to give me pleasure because it's not real. So in that way one should give up those efforts in the dream. Right? If this is because this is not aligning with my reality. And rather let me do something while in the dream only. Let me do something which helps me in my real life. Right? Right? I don't know what materialistic person can do which can align him for his real life. But for a devotee, right? When he is seeing a dream, suppose a devotee realizes, that okay, this is dream. What he will do? Any guesses? What a devotee should be doing? What a devotee can do? Suppose in a dream I realize I am dreaming and no more, and I can't wake up. That's a condition. Waking up is not possible for me. What I can do, which can align to the real purpose of life. One can chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Whole dream one can, because that's the only thing. Right? Okay, let me in the dream, let me chant Hare Krishna. Nicely chant, attentively chant. Because that aligns, because anyways I can't wake up immediately. I'm sleeping right now. So let me do something which is for my eternal benefit. Why should I do something which is, why should I now be busy? At least now I should give up my busyness in the dream. Sometimes in a dream, at least I have seen dreams, sometimes I'm so much in anxiety or busy, or this has to be done, that has to be accomplished, and I have to meet him. So sometimes we are like, busy in dream, but as soon as we realize this is dream, wait, I should give up my busy, so-called busy activities because it's not going to give any fruits and align with the real purpose. Now bringing back this whole point of the dream to this, what today's verse is talking about. So just a person obsessed with the dream perceives Atmanam, Vishyan and Phalam. So because of this he is in the illusion of a dream. Similarly, and if he wakes up, he should give up all this, and he should align with the real purpose. Similarly, now in this our current existence, this is also like a dream. That's what we are understanding. This is also a dream. We are not these bodies. This material world, all this is real. Okay, material world is a real thing. Body is a real thing. But we are not the body, right? We are our relationship with material world is not what we are imagining or assuming. So we have to develop a Sambandha Gyan. And Sambandha Gyan means, Sambandha Gyan has three aspects, like triangle. That is Jiva, living entity, and Krishna relationship, living entity and material nature. That is this world. What is this world? What is my relationship with this world? Who is Krishna? What is my relationship with Krishna? And what is the relationship of Krishna and the material nature? So what is the relationship between me and Krishna? Sambandha Gyan part 1 is that Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishna Nityadas. I am servant of Krishna. Right? So that is the first understanding. Okay, I am not this body. I am not nothing of this world. I am servant of Krishna. As far as material nature is concerned, what is my relationship with material nature? Krishna bhuli sei jiva bhog vancha kare, nikatastha maya tare jhapatiya dhare. That's my relationship. That is because I desire to enjoy separate from Krishna. Immediately I am captured by Maya. Actually, I have nothing to do with it. So I am sitting in this dreamy situation or imagining myself to be in this situation because of my enjoying mentality. That's all. And then what is the relationship with Krishna and Maya? Maya dakshena prakriti svete sacharasaram. Or Devi hesha hi gunamayi. Mama Maya. So it is Krishna's external energy, material energy. So this whole world. Okay, so in that way we understand this Sambandha Gyan, and as soon as we understand Sambandha Gyan, then immediately, now we are in the dream. Now we cannot say that, okay, I understood I am in a dream, now I will come out of the dream out of a sudden. That's not possible. We can't just be coming to our Swarupa, right, instantly. Right. Now there is a process. Okay, now I can't do that. I can't just be realizing my Swarupa and starting serving Krishna in my Swarupa, in a spiritual world. That I can't do by my own effort. Someone has to wake me up. Someone has to bring me out of the sleep, actually. So now in the dream, as soon as we understand the Sambandha Gyan, right, what we will do now? The first step should be to give up the illusory engagements, right? Now we understood that this is my activities in this world is just an illusory engagement. So why should I work very hard, just to gratify my body, my senses? This is not the real business. So one give up the illusory business, and all the illusory anxieties, and rather one starts aligning with himself with the real purpose in life. That is Krishna consciousness, right? And that's why in today's purport, very nice statement from the Shruti is mentioned. Asango hi ayam purushaha. The living being has no intimate connection with the material world. So one has to come to this. This is Sambandha Gyan. As soon as part of Sambandha Gyan, to understand that I have nothing to do with this material world. I have no connection with this material world. I should not take anything here seriously. This is like a video game. This world is like a video game. I should not be obsessed by this video game. But rather, I should understand that because I have forgotten my relationship with Krishna, because I have forgotten that I am eternal servant of Krishna. Krishna loves me, and I am loving servant of Krishna, and Krishna is constantly helping me. And because I have forgotten that, that's why now I am misidentifying. I need to identify with something, and that's why I am misidentifying and living in this material existence. Okay. So, okay, one beautiful purport, because we are maybe a little bit. I will read from this. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 27th chapter, that is Teachings of Lord Kapila, text number 4, where Lord Kapila is also talking a very similar verse. Okay, Lord Kapila is speaking a very similar verse, and Srila Prabhupada gives a very interesting purport. So I will read the translation and purport to this verse. Okay. So the translation is: actually, a living entity is transcendental to material existence, but because of his mentality of lording it over material nature, his material existential condition does not cease. Just as in a dream, he is affected by all sorts of disadvantages. So very, very, very similar verses. And now Srila Prabhupada's purport. The example of a dream is very appropriate. Due to mental conditions, in dreams we are put into disadvantageous and disadvantageous positions. Similarly, the spirit soul has nothing to do with this material nature, but because of his mentality of lording it over, he is put into the position of conditional existence. Conditional existence is described here as dhyayato vishyan asya. Vishya means an object of enjoyment. As long as one continues to think that he can enjoy material advantages, he is conditioned life. He is in conditioned life. And as soon as he comes to his senses, he develops the knowledge that he is not the enjoyer. For the only enjoyer is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, he is the beneficiary for all the results of sacrifices and penances, Bhokta Ram Yagya Tapasam, and he is the proprietor of all the three worlds, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He is the actual friend of all living entities. But instead of leaving proprietorship, enjoyment, and the actual position as a friend of all living entities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this is an interesting point. Okay. So instead of thinking that and understanding that he is the proprietor, enjoyer, and friend, Prabhupada explains very interesting. We claim that we are the proprietors, the enjoyers, and the friends. We perform philanthropic work, thinking that we are the friends of human society. Someone may proclaim himself to be a very good national worker, the best friend of the people and of the country. But actually he cannot be the greatest friend of everyone. The only friend is Krishna. One should try to raise the consciousness of the conditioned soul to the platform of understanding that Krishna is his actual friend. If one makes friendship with Krishna, one will never be cheated and he will get all help needed. Very wonderful. So Krishna is the only friend. So Prabhupada is making a very, obviously proprietor, enjoyer and friend. So Sarva Loka Maheshwara, Krishna is Sarva Loka Maheshwara, but sometimes a living entity has that desire to do these three things, to claim himself to be proprietor, to claim himself to be enjoyer, and to claim himself to be the real well-wishing friend of everyone. But Prabhupada is making, actually Krishna is that friend. And hence, now suppose someone says, okay Prabhu, but I want to help others. In that way I also want to become their friends. So how to do that? Prabhupada says, as a Sri Prabhupada's words. Prabhupada makes a very clear point. First we have to understand, only friend is Krishna. Right? Someone may proclaim to be a very good national worker, the best friend of the people and of country, but actually he cannot be a greatest friend of everyone. The only friend is Krishna. So then what one should do? One should try to raise the consciousness of the conditioned soul to the platform of understanding that Krishna is his actual friend. So that is the welfare work. The welfare work is to help people not understand, I am your friend, I am helping you, but develop relationship with Krishna. He is your friend. All other friendship in this world, you will be cheated. He is the only friend who will never cheat you. If one makes friendship with Krishna, one will never be cheated. He will get all the help needed. Arousing this consciousness of the conditioned soul is the greatest service. And not posing oneself as a great friend of another living entity. So Prabhupada makes a very clear point. So this is how we can develop a real friendship with others also. By helping them to understand that Krishna is our real friend. The power of friendship is limited. Although one claims to be a friend, he cannot be friend unlimitedly. There are an unlimited number of living entities and our resources are limited. Therefore, we cannot be of any real benefit to the people in general. The best service to the people in general is to awaken them to Krishna consciousness, so that they may know that the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor and the supreme friend is Krishna. Then this illusory dream of lording it over material nature will vanish. Right? So hence, to come to conclusion of this whole discussion, is that hence, while situated in this dream of this material existence, these are the two things which we need to do. First thing is that understanding Sambandha Gyan, we ourselves act only in the direction of establishing our real relationship with Krishna. And second activity to be done in this dream state is that there are so many other people who are also dreaming. The interesting thing in this dream is that we can interact with others, right? In that dream, you cannot actually interact with others. You may just think that I am interacting, right? But obviously at a transcendental level that is also very much possible, right? But and on a conditioned level may not be. But in this dream, at least we can interact with others, right? And we can help others also. Tell them that Prabhu, this is the Sambandha Gyan, right? We can preach, we can help others develop their relationship with Krishna, right? So that's why these are the two activities to be performed. That we ourselves develop that relationship and help others develop that relationship with Krishna, right? And this Sambandha Gyan is very necessary. Today is a very auspicious day, Ekadashi. Also today is Mokshada Ekadashi. That means yesterday was the Tithi of Mokshada Ekadashi, Tithi on which Bhagavad Gita was spoken. And today we are observing fasting for the Mokshada Ekadashi because of certain calculations. Today is the auspicious day to observe fasting for it. Right? So it's a very auspicious day, and Bhagavad Gita was spoken, and so that's why. And Bhagavad Gita gives very clear Sambandha Gyan. Bhagavad Gita, and the entire Bhagavad Gita is actually giving this Sambandha Gyan of that who is God, what is my relationship with God, what is my relation with matter, what is relationship with matter, material nature with Krishna. All this Gyan, Sambandha Gyan is very beautifully described in Bhagavad Gita. And hence, the real work to be done in this dream world. And merciful is Krishna who comes in our dream world. Just like a child is playing video game and mother wants him to eat food. So sometimes mother calls, "Beta, come and take your food." And the child is so absorbed in video game that sometimes mother thinks that maybe what I need to do, I need to enter into the video game, right? And where the child is obsessed, and yet I have to make his game over, so that now he can come out of the dream and take the real food. Right? In a similar way, Krishna also does that. This material world, our absorption here is like a dream, and then Krishna thinks that, although I give to so many things, he doesn't hear. So then he himself comes, right? He himself comes in this world, he comes, he says, "Jiva jago, Gaura Chanda bole." He sees that we are sleeping in a dreamy state. Please wake up, and Kota Nitra Jao Maya Pishasira Kode. In that song, one interesting line also comes is that Enechi Oshadi Maya Nashi Baro Lagi Harinam Mahamantra Lao Tumi Magi. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the song Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling that I have descended, Ami Bina Bandhu Ke Ache Tumar. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming all the way from the spiritual world, inside our dream world, right, in this material world, right, to wake us up, wake up, and take this Harinam Mahamantra. I am come to give you this medicine of holy names by which you can be awakened to the real condition, the real life, So we need to do these two things. That is, chant Hare Krishna, with Sambandha Gyan, with Sambandha in mind. And second thing is, help others revive that. So study Bhagavad Gita and teach Bhagavad Gita. These are the two things. So let us take this opportunity. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Bharat bhumite manusya janma hoila jar, janma sarthak kari, karo paropkar." So these are the only two things to be done: janma sarthak kari and karo paropkar. So let us do that. Especially today on Ekadashi, we can also, whatever number of rounds we wish to chant today, we chant very enthusiastically, sincerely with Sambandha Gyan. So in this regard, last 5 minutes, I would just like to also share very interesting points from His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj, which he writes in the book Living Name, and tells about that how developing this Sambandha is very, very critical in our performance of devotional service. Performing devotional service with Sambandha, and especially chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra as we chant Hare Krishna. So he speaks from Sri Harinam Chintamani. Bhaktivinoda Thakur talks about that how we need to chant in the awareness of our relationship with Krishna. And if we don't do this, then we only ever obtain the shadow of the holy name, not the real name. So this Sambandha Gyan, or to act in devotional service with understanding Krishna, I am doing for Krishna, and Krishna is a person. You act, we put our relationship with Krishna there inside our bhakti. Many times we may do it just as a ritual or very mechanical. Even one may hear the holy name also very mechanically, right? So it's very necessary that we remember that whose name am I chanting? Who is that person? Obviously that person is not different from the name, but who is that person? And when that is not there, that sambandha is not there, put in our sadhana, sambandha is not put in the sadhana, then it becomes mechanical, and then one feels dry. Then again, so we are still in that dream, right? If we are not developing and acting for the reality, right? We discussed this, that if we are in a dream, the only activity should be, if we have understood, at least now we have understood, that we are in the dream world. So now one should give up all his illusory activities, which are not going to give him a real benefit, and rather only act for the real thing, and that's why the sambandha is important. So in that, the shloka which is in Harinam Chintamani, spoken by Haridas Thakur, is that Yavat sambandha gyan sthir nahi haya, tavat anarthe namabhas ashray. As long as someone does not understand his relationship with Krishna, the individual soul will take shelter of namabhas, or shadow of the holy name. And then he makes a very interesting point that why it is necessary that the shadow of the holy name, we should not be satisfied. We should not be thinking that, okay, I am chanting shadow of the holy name. It's okay. Because, Maharaj very beautifully explained that because it is like we have hunger. We want to, we are enjoyment seeking, anandmaya abhyasat. We want that enjoyment and bliss. And if we don't derive that bliss as we perform sadhana bhakti, right? As we are doing sadhana bhakti, we are not feeling nourished by that. And that nourishment will not come if we are taking shadow names. Because he gives an example, just like there is a difference between real food. Now prasadam time is there. So suppose we go to prasadam hall, there's upstairs, and suddenly there we find that instead of today prasadam, they have put photo of prasad. That today this is the prasadam. Right? Or they have put a projector screen, that here is prasadam. So, and we are trying to eat from there, then still we will feel hungry. And when we feel hungry, very interesting thing, which Maharaj says here, that when we feel hungry, after you eat sufficiently there, what we eat? Projector, photo. We have sufficiently eaten. After that, when we come out of prasadam hall, what we will do? We will try to find out somewhere else, something else, right? Satisfaction nahi hua, kuch to bhi chahiye. And then we will search something outside, right? And that is what happens. When we chant Hare Krishna and we are not feeling nourished because of not relating with Krishna. That's why hearing about Krishna is so essential. Hearing about Krishna regularly, more and more. So and with that attitude of developing my real relationship with Krishna. So when we do that and then we put that Krishna in our sadhana, then we feel nourishment. And when we don't do that, then we may chant so much, just like one may eat so much of food from the projector screen, right? So we may chant a lot, or we may do a lot of devotional activities. Still, one may want to run for sense gratification. One's taste for sense gratification does not go because satisfaction from bhakti one is not deriving. So that's why it's very necessary to understand the Sambandha Gyan, not just theoretically, but to apply the Sambandha Gyan in our sadhana practices. That means when we are doing Mangal Arati, we actually really meditate on a spiritual master. We really meditate on praying to Narasimhadev. We really pray to Tulsi Manini. We really chant Sishtashtram verses. We really chant the names of Srimati Radharani and Krishna as we sit for chanting Hare Krishna, and praying to Radha and Krishna, praying to Nitai Gauranga. We hear Bhagavatam class to understand and awaken our Krishna consciousness. We take prasadam, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, say Sa Krishna Sa Dilo, so, with great happiness that this is Krishna's special mercy, and we perform service whole day, again relating with Guru and Krishna, that okay, this service is service to my special master, this service is service to Krishna, this service is what Srila Prabhupada wants. With that connection, with that sambandha, then we will be so much nourished that attraction for sense gratification can easily be given up. So that is one thing, a very important personal application. And second thing is that when we are ourselves so nicely nourished, then no one has to tell us to go out for preaching. Our every activity will be such a natural preaching. We will want to give out to others because we are relishing it now, right? So these are the two things. So we can try to do by helping others, distribute Bhagavad Gita as much as possible. Help others, give them this sambandha gyan, so that they all can be awakened, and we ourselves understand this sambandha gyan and apply in our sadhana. In that way we make our life perfect, and in that way we may situate it in a dream, but we won't be affected by the illusory aspects of the dream, but rather we'll start living in the real life, and one come to the platform of Jivan Mukta. That means although living in this world, but actually his activities are of the spiritual world. So that is called Jivan Mukta. And then one can come to that stage where there is no difference, because he is engaged in the real activities, and he sees things as they are, because this world is a real world, and it's not a false world, but our connection, if we consider this to be a place of enjoyment, that is illusion. But if we consider this to be a place of service to Krishna, then you are in a spiritual world, back home, back to Godhead. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Hare Krishna. Mokshada Ekadashi Mahamasav ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.